Santa's talking to the sun, telling the light to go away. Lord, I do not need your interference right now. Can't you see we have games and arbitrary things to talk about to 30 viewers? Be gone. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends Hunter and Kyle. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hiya. I'm doing just swell.
That whole Stream Deck thing not working is freaking me out. I was like, God, I've got to get to the website. Got to get the alerts working. It's fine. We're good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the HGO podcast. Successful in 1 week for having a big audience. Thank you, Xenoblade fans, for showing up. We'd love to see it. See you in like 3 months. Unless we just become a Xenoblade podcast, and that's what we do. That's our shtick, dude. When's the Rhine episode?
Hey, there's like 6 other Xenotubers we could get on here.
We'll just invite them all on. That's an idea.
Fuck it, a full party.
Yeah, let's get it.
You can call it the Chain Attack podcast.
Just like the Xenoblade 3 combat system, dude. We're just gonna have 7 people on screen at once. We'll just have 7 boxes.
Good luck following anything.
If it's hard enough as is, never mind.
I'll be able to play rock, paper, scissors in the middle of the show instead of waiting till the end. Tragic. But no, welcome back to the show, everybody, where I feel like this is it. This is like the final point. Content has come out, and this is it. This is like the final point until like June, July. Like, what's even out in June? Mario Strikers? Like, that's it.
I feel like there's something.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
Somnium Files at the very end.
There's stuff in late June, but we're getting ready for the dry spell. Except for we're expecting Jeff Keighley to save us with non-E3 E3. It's going to be great. I'm praying for some big releases. Like,
thank you, Jeff.
I don't know. Like, I'm done. I'm done with video games.
Silent Hill.
If that happens, I'm crying.
I swear to God.
But no, we have got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, because even though I've had a really busy week at work, where I've basically been working 10-hour shifts, I somehow got into the Overwatch 2 beta before the keys went out for Twitch people that spent 4 hours of their life watching it on Twitch. I love that, by the way. I love the watch 4 hours of people playing the game, and you too can then spend an hour to download it and play it yourself. I'm like, what? Just give us access. It's not that hard. But I did get into the initial beta and didn't play it until all the Twitch people were on anyway, because I didn't have time, so that was fun. We'll talk about that. So I played Overwatch 2. I played Switch Sports. I couldn't be arsed to even fucking put it on display, because we'll get to it. But yeah, if Nintendo's not making the effort, I'm not making the effort. Kyle saw the Sonic movie 2, the Squeakquel, finally. So Kyle's going to talk about that. We're going to become a movie podcast. It's going to be great. I watch 2 movies a year, so we'll have fun.
It's tangentially related to video games.
It's true. It's the only good video game movie. True. Back to me. I played Bigsnax, Game of the Year 2022. We'll talk all about it. I played the DLC for Bugsnax that just came out this week. Then I also played, trust me, they were all short games.
Busy boy this week.
I played the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. That also came out this week. I wasn't planning on playing it, but then I heard so many people talking about it that I was like, I have to jump in now. And I wasn't disappointed. Hunter's played Nobody Saves the World, so we'll talk about that.
I sure have.
And then we've got Xenoblade X to talk about. If you are a Xenoblade fan, we're bringing it back. Join us as we keep talking about this series until you get bored. Or until Xeno 3 comes out in a bit. So we've got plenty to talk about. But yeah, thank you for the support this past week. It was great. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for all that good stuff. Thank you for people showing up on both audio and video. Usually it's one or the other. Usually we have a banger week for audio or a banger week for video. And we had a banger week for both. So that's awesome. Thank you. As we continue to make content, which is very much... what's the tagline?
Free and competent.
Free and competent.
Free and competent. You love to see it. So let's start with Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1.5, Overwatch 1.1, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what.
Overwatch Dark Mode.
Overwatch Dark Mode. Overwatch. Somebody changed the font and the logo. Someone changed the UI to be colourful, and now it's different. We swear. So Overwatch 2 is coming out this year. I don't even know if it's coming out this year, but the beta's out now.
Is it?
The PvP is being released separately, which to me screams it's coming out this year because it's just Overwatch 1, spoiler alert. So yeah, Overwatch 2 is here. The first alpha is here. And I don't know. It's an interesting one because it's really fun, but it is also an update to Overwatch. And I think the biggest compliment I can give Overwatch 2 is it's the most fun I've had playing Overwatch in about 4 years, and that's because it's the most unbalanced I've ever seen Overwatch in about 4 years, and that's what makes it so much fun. Is it's finally back to that grassroots, back to basics Overwatch where shit's overpowered and it's funny. Like this whole Overwatch got so like clinical in its way where everybody felt like either on a level playing field or ass, to the point where everyone just picked the exact same heroes: 2 shields, two really good DPS, and then your healers are existent, and that's about all. That's all that there is, right? That is what Overwatch was. And now with Overwatch 2, I was genuinely like, damn, this is an update, and it is an update. It is not a sequel. It's the same fucking game, but they removed a player and it plays better. It's definitely just Overwatch patch notes. Like we saved up 2 years of updates, and here they are, guys. Wow, we did a great job. But it's so damn fun. And I think the main thing that's really hit me with it is removing a tank. Because tank was always people's least favorite class to play. Everybody hated tank. I hated tank. Everybody did. You could tell, because if you go on live on Overwatch 1, you can see that if you're going into role queue, which is a terrible concept, I still hate role queue. You go into DPS, your damage category, that's what everybody wants to play. That's your basic Billy game mode. I want to play Soldier 76. There we go. Let's lock and load, boys. 8-minute queue just to play as Cassidy or Soldier 76 or whatever. Support, that's like a 4-minute queue. People are more willing to play support. You look at tanks, it's like -5 minutes. They're abducting you from the main menu to get in because they don't have enough players. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And then in Overwatch 2, the longest role queue right now is tank, because tank is so much fun. Because there's only one of you now, they've just made the tank stupidly overpowered and stupid fun to play, where they just destroy everybody and everything in their path. You basically just become big damage. You are big boy damage. It's just like you've got support, you've got damage, and then you've got big boy damage, and it's just the big boy storms in and just destroys everybody. And it's great. They've done so much. I don't know why it's so much more fun, but it just is. And I just think it's because of all these stupid changes that they've made, which are so funny to me, that are just like ridiculous, but I love them. Whether it's the fact that Reinhardt now has 2 strikes, so you can just start fucking fanning the hammer at everybody and just like stomping them down. It's like, even Reinhardt's fun to play again. It's like, it's kind of crazy. They changed Doomfist into a tank, which he probably should have been from the start, but now you've literally got Doomfist, who no longer stuns you, but his punch can now punch multiple people. So you just see Doomfist come in and punch whole teams away. It's like great.
That sounds like something I'd be willing to do. Just spam punch for an entire game.
Yeah, and it's just stupid stuff like that. Orisa, who was the most boring fucking character in the world, they completely reworked her. They scrapped her shield. No more shield. Shield's be gone. Thank fuck. Overwatch is now an actual shooter instead of just shooting at shields and watching people hide behind Reinhardt for 60 minutes. You love to see it. But she now has these spears that she chucks at people, and she has like she does like a twirl move with it where it reflects all the shit like a Genji thing. So you've just got Orisa like storming in with this little fucking blade that she's swiveling around like Hunter with his fucking knife, just like going at it and just charging in, and she just deals loads of damage. Tanks are the best place that they've been in years, and it's because they're broken and stupid, and they're gonna ruin it, and it's gonna suck. And it's like, damn, it's a shame. But it's like, even damage, there's some stupid Bastion is fun again. Like they made Bastion fun. Now his little turret, it can move. He can move while he's at his turret, and it's now just on a timer, so he just has 8 seconds instead of just being locked in a turret. So he can just fucking storm the castle, basically, and no one can get in his way. He's got little bounce bombs. So you'll get this one, Cal, because you played TF2. He has bounce bombs that basically act like soldiers' rockets. So you can literally fucking do trick shots as Bastion where he's jumping over roofs and turning into tank mode, and you can just plow down enemies, and it's just stupid shit like that.
Nice.
It's basically become an arena shooter. The teamwork is still vital, but they've also realized that quick play is chaos. Let's just embrace the chaos. No one's gonna stick to the payload, so let's just have fucking people piss about. And I think the problem with this, and the whole problem with it in general, is it's made support tragic. And that's the main problem with Overwatch 2, is if you are a support player, my fucking god, I am so sorry. Because they have made you basically unplayable. Anna's great. They've made Anna great to play because Anna has range and Anna has her biotic grenades and stuff like that. She's great. But every other support, except for maybe Lucio, kind of suffers because you're basically... Shields are gone. There's one shield max. So you're basically Tracers, your Cassidys, everybody that's a flanker, congratulations, you now win, dude. Like, Farah's just got an easy time shooting at Mercies from the sky. It's super broken in that way. And it also doesn't help that stuns are gone, which aren't fun. Stuns suck. Stuns in video games suck, especially competitive shooters. Let's talk about that. But every stun is basically gone from the game. Brigitte, her shield is basically useless now. It's a fucking whiff machine. You just fucking bonk them and they can just carry on doing what they do. So it's like Brigitte is shit, probably for the best, because Brigitte was disgusting for far too long in Overwatch. But she's now terrible. It's like people like Mercy just don't have the movement to keep up with characters like Tracer, who now don't have to worry. The only thing they have to worry about is if Roadhog's on the other team, because now you've got a super buff Roadhog that can just hunt you down with his big hook. And it's like, it's super fun, but also it's just the balance is at a place where if you're a tank or a damage player, congratulations, you've won the lottery. You've now got a much more fun video game on your hands. If you're a Mercy player or a Moira player or anybody like that, you can still do shit, but it's a lot less fun because those damage characters can just fuck you up. Characters like Zarya can just fuck you up. Tanks have just been reworked so much that they can basically just hunt you down and kill them themselves. They're like massive flankers themselves. And it's like, it's fun, but man, is it unbalanced. And I kind of love it, but also, how long is it going to last? Because it is just Overwatch 1.5, Overwatch 1.2 update, whatever you want to call it. It's a Minecraft update, but for Overwatch is the kind of content that they've added. And I'm just like, how long is it going to last? Is my kind of thought process on it. As you've seen a lot of people like Donkey, you've seen a lot of people basically be like, I love it because there was a video from Donkey about a year ago where he was talking about Overwatch 2 and he was like, if it's just an update with some changes to characters, a couple of new characters and a couple of new maps, I'm not going to be happy. And his new video that he did on it was just him replaying that clip and going, I'm not happy, because that's exactly what they've done. There is nothing like exceptional about it. It's just more Overwatch. They literally took the old maps and changed the time of day. This is some Nintendo shit. This is some
it's
Nintendo
like the jump from
shit.
Splatoon to Splatoon 2.
They've changed the time of day. Yeah, exactly. King's Row is now in the evening instead of at night. It's like that kind of shit. That's what they've done. And for the most part, in my opinion, they look worse because the maps were centered around an original aesthetic anyway. So I'm like, King's Row looked better at night, in my opinion. Route 76 looked better in the day than it does in the evening like it is now. For some reason, a lot of them they chose with dusk or evening, and I'm like, why? What's your fascination? I get it.
So now you
Red
can't
Sun.
see anything.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it just kind of sucks. And it's in that weird thing where I still have no fucking clue what Overwatch 2 is because they fucked up that marketing so much. Activision's so greedy that they just wanted a sequel for sequel's sake. And so it's like, oh, the PvP's going to be a free update, but you have to pay for the PvE, the actual Overwatch 2, and it's like, new graphics, everyone's moving over. If this is just a free update and Overwatch is going free to play and the PvP is going to be free to play and that's Overwatch 2, then it's great. It's going to be great. It's probably going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff I'm loving. A lot of these character reworks are a blast to play, and I'm sure there's multiple characters coming. And to be honest, I'd accept it. If it released in this kind of state, and then they just kept adding a new hero every 2 months because they've been working on these heroes for a while now for this big roster for Overwatch 2, I'd be perfectly happy with that. But at the same time, now that PvE has separated itself from the PvP, now that the big story mode, the thing that people wanted from Overwatch from the start and got excited for Overwatch 2 thing, I fucking cried at the reveal trailer for Overwatch 2 because I was like, this is it. We're getting story. Like, that trailer is so fucking good. I'm like, we're getting it finally. No, we're not. We're just getting a fucking update called Overwatch 2, and that's coming later, and we don't even know what that is. And it's really hard to, like, get excited because it just is Overwatch 1 again. And is that content coming? And what's Microsoft's whole plan with this? Because I feel like this is Bobby Kotick's last fuck you before he goes. I feel like Overwatch 2 is that last fuck you, goodbye, I'm leaving forever. Because Diablo...
middle finger.
Yeah, because Diablo 4, say what you want, that game's probably been through development hell, but when Diablo 4 comes out next year, it'll be Diablo 4. For better or for worse. It'll be that thing. Overwatch 2, what the fuck is Overwatch 2? And why? Like, I'm just sitting here going, why? Why is this a thing? Especially if you separated it. And it just feels like this is Activision's one last, before Microsoft buys us, fuck you to the fans, we're out of here. And I don't know what Microsoft's going to do to pick up the slack. Like, are they just going to be like, guess we're stuck now? Or are they going to take their sweet ass time and make this big PvE story mode thing and then release that standalone? I have no clue what the plan is. And I'm just sitting there going, this is a fun update. Why the fuck is it called Overwatch 2? Like, genuinely. So, yeah. I know that was a lot of me just speaking at you instead of it being a conversation. But it's one of those things. Yeah, no, it just is one of those things. Like, I'm very passionate about Overwatch. Look, I've got an Overwatch hat here. I was going to wear it, but I washed my hair. And I don't want to get hat hair tomorrow because my hair gets disgusting when it's like, it becomes the shape of the hat, and I'm basically just wearing a hat. And it hurts without the hat. And then my hair hurts when I try and move it. So I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. But it's like, I loved Overwatch for so long. I basically was addicted to that game for a year and a half. I loved it to pieces. And just to watch Team 4 at Blizzard suffer so much from the whole Activision shit and the whole Blizzard situation. And then to have them have to forcefully make a sequel and not know what's happened, and then having Jeff leave and all these other people leave, and then having all these people behind the scenes be terrible people, and then hearing about how basically the reason Jeff and all these higher-ups left was because they were sick of putting up with Activision's bullshit. And it's like, it just sucks to see this thing that you love and you want it to do well, and I want that Overwatch single-player PvE experience, which is that Pixar animation quality world with the story, with the characters that they've already built and done such a great job with. But I don't even know what the vision is anymore. Because if the PvP is just Overwatch 1, but we've removed the shitty game mode and added another one instead, I'm like, push is fine, but we need more than just push and Sojourn as new content, and that's it. One hero and one game mode does not make a sequel, as much as Call of Duty would like to differ, like, from that argument. You know, it's like, because they're technically losing content because 2CP has been ditched. They have scrapped 2CP entirely. So you're losing all of the 2CP maps. 2CP just sounds wrong. You're losing those maps, and you're losing that content. You're basically just replacing one set of maps with another set and adding some more to Escort. I feel like there needs to be more. I feel like there needs to be more game modes. I feel like there needs to be more variety and more section. Heroes is going to obviously be always the most important thing with Overwatch, the most hype thing. I feel like it's like Smash Bros characters. No one gives a shit about the actual gameplay of Smash. They like the fucking hype. And I feel like that's what everybody's like with Overwatch. They don't particularly care about how a character plays. They just want the cool backstory, the cool lore, and I can't wait for that one BlizzCon animation that they do every year where maybe this character will be a part of it and it'll be fucking epic. Like, that's all people care about, is that shit, the goods. And it's just like, they're not really delivering on anything. They're not delivering on the gameplay side, really, other than a load of tweaks that could very much be written as patch notes, because they did write them as patch notes. And the gameplay's just not there. Like, there's more, it needs more gameplay. And I don't think they have it.
And I also don't think it helps that Push was shown in the Overwatch 2 reveal in 2019, and it's now 2022, and there's still no gameplay out other than Push to show for it. And I'm just like, what's happening? I really hope 80% of your workforce has been working on the PvE, because if not, we're in danger here. Like, what are we doing?
It's always weird to watch these games that were, live service things go to a sequel. Because it feels like, in a way, they oftentimes just kind of reset themselves.
Like Destiny.
Yeah, like Destiny. That was what jumped to mind. It seemed like by the time that Destiny 1 was, finishing up, it seemed like people finally were like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then when Destiny 2 came out, it was like, where's the content again?
To the point where, for me, Destiny 2 is stupid, because I loved the 60 hours I've put into Destiny 2, by the way. It's great, especially in its state now. Ignore the shit, like, I hate the expansion pass model thing. I don't get it. I just want the content. And I don't like the year on year and stuff being retired into a vault. We can get into that with how Destiny 2, after 4 years, the expansions basically go into a vault to never be seen again. So you just wave bye money as you say goodbye to your single player story you bought 4 years ago, vanish into the vault.
Wait, hold on. They just get rid of some of the story?
Yeah. So, for example, when the new expansion came out, basically when it's like when the new expansion comes out, because they want to keep the game file size as small as possible, content goes bye-bye. So the Forsaken DLC went away last time, and next time it'll be the next one, and so far and so forth. And it's just like, that shit sucks. But Destiny's at a state now where I don't know why they still call it Destiny 2. I would have really had that wording where, okay, we've gone free to play. We're basically an MMO at this point. We're Final Fantasy 14. We're whatever have you, where we're just constantly updating. We're World of Warcraft. We're constantly updating expansion model. Why has Bungie not had that conversation of, so when are we going to remove the 2 and just return to calling it Destiny?
Or Destiny : something or other.
Do what World of Warcraft does and just have the expansion name be the name of the game for a while, Have it be called, I don't know what the current one is. Is it the Witch Queen or something? I don't know what the new expansion is called for Destiny 2. But just have it be called Destiny : whatever it is for the current name of the expansion. It should just be Return to Destiny and have the expansions be the subtitle for the year. And in the same way, I think that's what Overwatch should be, is Overwatch be Overwatch. Have it go free to play. Have it be this thing where it's constantly evolving, constantly online. And then do these expansions. Have these PvE expansions.
You could use,
these massive overhauls.
Yeah. Have these seasons of content. Do the Fortnite, as much as I hate to say it, do the Fortnite system of have these seasonal events. Have these systems. Don't just reuse the same 6 fucking events. If I see Summer Games return in Overwatch 2, I'm gonna fucking have a fit, dude. I do not need another swimsuit version of an Overwatch hero, dude. This isn't a JRPG. Calm down. What we need is good content. I want what they did with Archives, where they have these lore events where things actually get impacted. Have the PvE. I'll happily pay for PvE, but have it be actually have some substance to it. Have it be a story. Have these stories come out. It's like how I've also seen, this is how I personally have seen the future of COD be for a while, is have these story campaigns as expansions that you sell for $30 and have the multiplayer continue to evolve and grow, because there's no point wasting your time having 3 teams make 3 different versions of the same fucking multiplayer and destroy them every year. You're just wasting time and resources, especially when you're probably going to make a lot more money off the Fortnite emotes, skins, whatever. Do the dabs, the emotes. It's great because I love it in first-person games where you can't even see them. And hey, I spent like $300 on Overwatch, so I'm not one to judge. I have all the Tracer cosmetics. Like, I'm the fucking sucker as well. But, I feel like that's the model that they should go to, is just have Overwatch be Overwatch. I think the idea of calling it Overwatch 2 is fucking stupid. And I feel like I'm still shocked they haven't killed it. Or call it Overwatch 2.0. Just add a 0.0 to it. add a 0.0. And there we go, because, like I say, it's
whole new version.
It's wild, dude. It's wild. It's crazy. I'm gonna I've talked for way too long, so I'm gonna swap these a tiny bit, Kyle. We're gonna talk about the Sonic movie because I really don't want to fucking have another mental breakdown and rant about another game. So,
that was what was next.
If you stayed for all that, thank you. I don't know if this episode will be named after Overwatch or if it will be named after something else. Who knows? But thank you for bearing with us. And let's get more positive. Let's talk about Sonic.
All right. So yeah, the other day, Jacob and I went out to go see the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. Per my request, because I had nothing else going on a Friday night, and neither did he. So, you do as you do. Went out. I really enjoyed it. I think it's even better than the first one.
Nice.
Super, super good. Casting is always on point with who they got for the Sonic characters. Of course, Jim Carrey's Eggman is fantastic. Ben Schwartz's Sonic fucking nails it. Idris Elba, I'm glad that with Knuckles they kept him true to who Knuckles is. Bumbling dumbass.
Oh, my favorite thing is listening to Idris Elba talk about how he prepared to be Knuckles is like my favorite fucking thing ever. Because he was like, I'm like Idris Elba's. Well, for one, Idris Elba's one of those I'm a gamer guys, and we're like, oh god, no.
Oh god.
Enough of these insanely talented and attractive Hollywood actors being gamers. We can't take it. And it's like the last thing we need is people.
Not him and Henry Cavill.
No, Rob Pattinson enough.
Rob Pattinson, fucking Henry Cavill, Idris Elba. Stop it. We can't handle it. But the fact that he was like, yeah, I'm a gamer, and it's just like he plays bits and pieces. He's not like huge into it. But the fact that he was like, oh yeah, I know what Sonic was. It was like I wanted to do Knuckles like as Knuckles. I don't want to be Idris Elba playing Knuckles. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I respect it. Mm-hmm. From the clips I've seen, he's very much Knuckles, like in every sense of the word.
He did a really good job.
Yeah,
there's one scene where Robotnik and his little henchmen are like they're tracking Sonic and his owner's texts, and Knuckles is just in the background reading them really slowly.
My favorite, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but one of my favorite clips from the trailer is just the trailer where the scene where they first meet each other, and it's you got Jim Carrey at the door with Sonic, and then you've got that thing where Sonic goes for the hit, and then Jim Carrey does this almost fucking Neo from the Matrix move of like moving to the right, which if we played that at real speed, by the way, he'd be quicker than Sonic, which is pretty cool, Jim Carrey, not gonna lie. And you just got Knuckles, this fucking massive fist behind, just like bang, and I'm like, it's just like so funny. It's just, I do love it. And I just wish we lived in the world where we saw what these characters looked like from the old aesthetic. I'd love to see janky Knuckles.
Oh my god. We wouldn't have gotten this far with the old aesthetic.
Oh no, we wouldn't have gotten this far, but man, we could dream. If I was them, I would have done it as like an April Fool's Day promotional thing. Where I would have just done like a quick 5-second render of it or something. Just be like, yo guys, here you go. Present for you. Cursed Knuckles.
The old aesthetic is going to be their version of Sonic Generations when they get that far.
Well, we'll get there.
It'll be the cursed Sonic design.
I hate it because that could work. That could totally work.
The further this franchise goes, I can't believe Sonic's become a franchise in terms of movies. But it's like, you're obviously going to get characters. Like, you can see there's certain characters where you're like, obviously Shadow's going to be soon. Obviously, you're going to have other characters. But then it's also like, I assume Amy will probably also be in the next one, because I feel like they'll probably want a female lead.
She's like the last of the main cast that's missing at this point.
Yeah, and especially I feel like, I'm surprised she wasn't put into this one, not from like a story perspective, but just from the fact that, because it's a family movie, I'm like, it's just a matter of time. They kind of do need that female lead.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee when Amy does come over, I assume she is going to be probably the least faithful, but in a good way. I think she's probably going to be less clingy. I think she's going to be more of an actual character.
Suck in the games anyway.
Yeah. I think they'll actually work on her and make her a decent character.
Yeah.
But then it's like, how far are we going to go, dude? When are we going to get
Like, are we gonna get Rouge the Bat? Are we gonna have the horny people be like, oh no, is that what's gonna happen? Are we gonna get like Jeremy B and like fucking Espio and the fucking Sonic Heroes gang? And what I'm asking for is, can Sonic 4, not Sonic 3, can Sonic 4 just be Sonic Heroes, please? Can we just have Big the Cat and fucking Froggy? Like, I want it, dude. I genuinely. But can we get like the most famous actor on like the planet to play fucking Big the Cat, please? Can we just get like
in the
Chris
games,
Pratt
Big...
Mario level of hilarity from it?
In the games, Big was voiced by Duke Nukem, so
I'm just trying
there's
to think
a mental image for you guys.
Like, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I want someone like this really like. I want like someone that feels like they're like that, like kind of that vibe, you know. Like, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like, who would be a good Big the Cat? Like, why in my head, I just went straight to fucking Josh Brolin, because I was like, fucking Thanos slash...
They're both purple.
Yeah, Thanos, and then also, because he played, what's his name from Deadpool 2? Cable, that was it. So I'm just like, he's super, like, Duke Nukem kind of buff. I feel like that would be kind of funny if you got him to be, like, Froggy in the fucking booth. That'd be quite entertaining. I just like, yeah, the whole Sonic thing is because it's like, it's slowly the live action. I feel like the live action is going to slowly phase away.
That's my biggest hope with these movies, is that we just move away from the people and more into Sonic, because they're kind of arbitrary at this point.
Yeah, except for like Eggman, obviously.
Well, yeah. And Stone, Agent Stone can stay.
Oh, is that his sidekick?
That's Eggman's little sidekick. Yeah,
I do love their energy together, dude. Like,
yeah,
that like, I'm surprised. I did not realize. I should have expected it from the Sonic community. Big shipping scene between those two characters, and I'm like, I'm like, of course there is, because it's the Sonic community. They would literally fucking ship Sonic with a garbage bag, dude. They literally, that's what they do. They'd be like, oh guys, dude, I ship levels together, you know? That's the Sonic fan base. But, but I'm just like, to be fair, those two characters are quite funny, and they do bounce off each other quite well. And I do always love the kind of minion, like, subordinate that has the kind of infatuation with their boss, where they're just kind of like... It is like that kind of unrequited creepy love that the fucking, like, the engine kind of, yes, you're magnificent. Like, yeah, that kind of appreciation. But I do love it. I do plan on seeing it, because it does just look like a fun time. And I wish a lot more video game movies would take this to heart, that it's not necessarily the story of the games that you need. It's the vibe. It's the spirit. The spirit.
Of the game.
Yeah, it's the spirit of it. To the point where Sonic's better than he is in the games.
Honestly, yeah.
He normally is.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night, but about how Sonic seems to just adapt well into everything that's not video games.
He does.
Whether it's like the cartoons, Sad AM, Underground, X, even Boom.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I don't know how, but it just works so well.
I think it also helps that it's like, again, you've got great performers behind it. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's sad that that most of the original cast got replaced in terms of, you know, Sonic and Knuckles. But at the same time, I'm like, Ben Schwartz is fantastic as Sonic. Like, that's perfect casting right there.
Idris Elba did a great job.
To the point where, you know, they're good casting, because if they were in the games, you wouldn't complain. That's what I'm like. It's like, if they do a good enough job that if they were to swap places, and you would still be like, yeah, I'd be happy with that, then they've done a good job behind it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's all about that feel, and I feel like that's where a lot of movies have failed, is like with Uncharted. They just took the idea of what Uncharted was, but they didn't take the feel of Uncharted. They did not take the kind of who they saw Nathan Drake as, oh, he's Indiana Jones, guys. He's just let's do an Indiana Jones movie. What they didn't take from it was the heart and the adventure of it, and the way it all kind of, the motion of Uncharted. They didn't take any of that. They just went, oh, airplane scene. Oh, we'll get Tom Holland. He's big name. And don't get me wrong, the Uncharted movie could have been far worse than it actually was. Let's make that clear. There have been worse video game adaptations than Uncharted. Uncharted was not terrible. It wasn't great, but it was on the scale. It was
Average.
on the scale of like Sonic 2 to Assassin's Creed 2016. We have got Uncharted like in the middle as average. Assassin's Creed is the worst one. You cannot fucking prove anything otherwise. That's
I
an
didn't even
awful,
know that
awful
happened.
Don't
It
watch
had
it.
the
It's
Magneto, or not
Yeah,
like
it was
old
Michael Fass- it was
Magneto,
Fassbender,
but the
wasn't
newer
it?
Magneto.
Yeah.
Magneto, yeah.
It was awful, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine an Assassin's Creed movie where they focus solely on the modern day Animus, and that was it. Imagine
Why
that.
would you do
Imagine
that?
Yeah.
That's the
Imagine
part that
that.
no one cares about.
My favorite part is as well is it wasn't even he didn't even play Desmond. They did an original story in the same universe as the video games. They should have just like fucking hell. It was awful. Really terrible movie. Don't watch it. But it is. It's about finding that kind of you can obviously make it your own and go and roll with it, but it's carrying over that feel and that vibe, and not just going, oh, what makes Resident Evil? Raccoon
Big
City and
monster.
zombies. Yeah, there we go. We've got it, guys. Write it down. We've got it.
That didn't work.
What makes
didn't work.
what makes Tomb Raider? It's just like, oh, it's fucking Indiana Jones. Like, no,
Indiana Jones.
make it its own.
I thought that last Tomb Raider movie they did was okay.
It was a lot better, but it was also
yeah.
what was the Tomb
Like,
Raider
up to that
reboot?
point, I was-
Gritty Indiana Jones. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. We got it, boys.
Up
Add
to
the word
that
gritty.
point, I was like, that's probably the best video game adaptation I'd seen in a while, but I hadn't seen Detective Pikachu yet, and Sonic didn't.
Well, I don't even
exist,
fucking. Detective Pikachu doesn't fucking count. Can we say that? I feel like this is a controversial opinion here, guys.
That
on
was
the
that was
podcast.
more like I was throwing that out there to appease the people who try to say it is.
Ah, well,
because I don't.
hello, appeased people. Let me now fucking piss you off again. It's not a video game movie, and you cannot tell me
No,
otherwise.
Pokemon's
It sucks, dude. It sucks. It sucks as well, no, it doesn't suck. It's a fine film. I don't like it as much as other people. I think it's overrated as shit. I think it's very much. Well, here's how I'll describe it. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie. So there you go. It's like it's good because it's a Ryan Reynolds movie, but it's also just a Ryan Reynolds movie. There's nothing special about it, and the Pokemon kind of scare me. They do. You can't tell me that half of those Pokemon aren't terrifying. Like when you look at
dude, I
Pokemon
love
in live
Psyduck.
action, I was
I think
like,
you just brought back like a repressed memory of Jigglypuff in my
Yeah.
brain.
yeah.
I
There were
was
so
happy
many
that memory
Pokemon.
was gone. Thank you, Ethan.
There were so many Pokemon in that movie where I was like, oh, they're going to look so cute. And then they're like these fucking Lovecraftian monsters. And I'm like, no, go away. Why do you look so
Do you want
weird?
Furby Jigglypuff?
No, I don't. But no,
Man.
Detective Pikachu is not a video game adaptation because they just took the idea
No.
of Pikachu wearing a detective hat and ran with it. Like, they genuinely, it does not. I don't care if they copied names or anything. It doesn't, it's not a fucking adaptation. But no, I am happy that the Sonic movies continue to be good and they continue to do well. I mean, every single week that it's been out, it has done better than Secrets of Dumbledore. So yeah, shout outs to the Sonic fans. Not only did you beat it
Love to see
on
it.
its release week, it has never passed it. So good job, Sonic fans. You've really shown them. But it really does. Like, it has some staying power. Like, it's not even a meme. It's not even a one and done.
Yeah.
Like, Sonic is, at least for now, here to stay until they beat it
It
to
was
death.
like genuinely enjoyable.
Yeah. And it was genuinely good. You love to see it. So hey, if you saw it, let us know what you guys thought in the comments. We'd love to know. Like I say, I need to still watch it. I'll catch up eventually. There's so many movies that I have no time to watch because I just don't go and watch them. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like Doctor Strange is out next week. Can't wait to not go and watch that. Unless I'm forced to go and watch it
Same.
against my
Is it
will.
out next week?
Yeah, it's
Next
next
week, yeah.
Friday, yeah.
I will not be seeing that on.
I got a
anytime
spoiler.
soon, probably.
I got a
I will
spoiler.
be.
I got a spoiler, and it's now made me want to go and watch it.
Oh really?
Classic.
Yes, but I'm just hoping that this is the like. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to ruin it for people. But I heard
Well,
a
thanks, 'cause I'm
spoiler.
about to watch it this week.
Good. I heard a spoiler about a certain thing in it, and I'm like, God, I hope that isn't just them doing a multiverse thing. I'm like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, that's perfect. That needs to be proper MCU. Don't be a shitty fucking one-time gag or something. I'm like, please, you've got a good thing here, Marvel. Don't fucking ruin it. So it's
Finally.
kind of making me
Howard
want to
the
go and watch
Duck.
it. Yeah, dude. And you'll never guess who's voicing him, dude.
Ryan Reynolds.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt
Tom
again,
Holland.
dude. Chris Pratt. All three. Turns out he's
Oh,
got
shit.
multiple personality disorder, just like Moon
Moon
Knight, dude. But they're all voiced by different people. That'd be
Except
incredible.
he's a duck.
Except he's Duck Knight, dude. The
that just
Duck Knight
Darkwing Duck?
Rises, dude. Yeah, the Duck Knight
I do
Rises.
believe.
Yeah.
Darkwing
The
Duck.
terror that quacks in the night.
The terror that quacks in the night. Very true. Right. Anyway, so we'll go from something that has heart to something that's heartless. Nintendo Switch Sports got released, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Remember when this was the thing that made you happiest at the last direct?
No, Xenoblade 3 made me happiest at the direct. Let's be real here. Then it was
You
this.
fooled me.
Well, I think it was because I knew
You
Xenoblade.
fooled me.
We knew Xenoblade 3 was coming because Imran Khan told
Yeah.
us a year ago. And so it was like, when I watched that trailer, I was more like, oh, the biggest shock was it being released in September, and then Nintendo pulled a fucking Lamau on that one as well, and was like, July. Am I right?
July.
They better not move that now. I've booked the day off. They better not move it. Like, I've booked that day off. Don't move
Imagine
it.
if it gets
Nintendo.
pushed back a week.
I'd be so upset.
Polish or something.
I'd be so upset, but then I'd also probably just move the day. I'd be like, I'm moving
Yeah.
it. I've changed my mind.
My plans changed.
My
Be
plans
like,
changed.
listen here, job. Video games are a fickle mistress.
My job's probably always been like, it's really weird. He doesn't take any of his time off, but then he takes like random Fridays off, and that's it. He takes like random 1 day Friday weekends off. Like, what's with that? I'm just waiting for one of my coworkers to figure it out. Like, I'm just waiting for one of them to be a gamer and just realize he's off for Horizon Forbidden West. Wait,
It's
and
like,
then he
yeah,
was
listen
off.
to your podcast.
Yeah, it's like, and then he was off for like, hey, isn't that when Xenoblade 3 comes out? Like, I've worked it out. I'm just waiting for the day where someone comes to me and they're like, okay, so we've already put you down as being off on like this day, and I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, that's when Final Fantasy 16's out or something. I'm like, oh, great, thank you. Joke's on you. That's not Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm not playing it. I will play Final Fantasy 16. Please, Final Fantasy fans, don't hate me. I'll give it a try. Anyway, so
Switch Sports.
Switch Sports. They put so little effort into it. In fact, I want to show people, because I showed you guys this. I think it's hilarious. Where is it? Nintendo Switch Sports. There it is. Where they put so little effort into it. They didn't even do a back of the box. It's just the fucking JPEG that's on the main menu. Like, genuinely, that is how much effort they put into it.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously it's mainly a digital release. You only get it physical if you buy it with the leg strap, which of course I did because I wanted that leg strap, baby. I already have one, but now I have two. So now I've got. It's like I'm collecting.
One for each of you.
One for each of my legs. It's gonna be great. 3-4 Switch won't know what hit it. Anyway, yeah. So Switch Sports is fine. It is a video game. It is Wii Sports. On the spectrum, I would probably put it as above Wii Sports Club, probably above the original Wii Sports, and then below Wii Sports Resort. But at the same time, I would also like to specify that Wii Sports is a game from 2006. It has been...
That was a pack-in.
That was a pack-in
that you didn't have to buy.
that you didn't have to buy separately.
And Wii Sports Resort also turned into a pack-in.
Later in its
the life
life.
cycle.
Yeah. And some Wiis you could buy with Wii Sports and Resort if you were lucky to have the fabled console. I saw some places, like, it wasn't like actually in the console, but I saw some places give out Wii Sports Resort with like the packet, like with like a separate copy of Wii Sports like included in like deals and stuff like that. It's like the full Wii Sports package.
What was Wii Sports Club? I don't remember.
That was the Wii U one,
Yeah.
where you had to pay for 24-hour access or buy sports outright, and then like a year later they did it as an actual physical release.
Nice.
Okay.
But yeah, the thing with Switch Sports, and the thing I think that's the biggest disappointment is it's so half-arsed. There's so little effort gone into this video game that I almost have to hand it to Nintendo for being this fucking lazy, because we have given them some fair praise recently for the Mario Party. They did more work to get that online working than they probably should have, and it works great. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
You know, they managed to release a Pokemon game that wasn't shit. I can't wait for them to fuck that streak up in literally the same year that they broke it. But you know, there we go.
The streak of one.
Yeah, they broke the streak and started a new streak of good Pokemon games. They're like, nah, we need to scrap that one already. Let's get Scarlet and Violet out. Let's have you look like fucking weird 8-year-old. Like, what are those figures called? You know, are they like Playmobil?
Nendroids?
No, like Playmobil characters. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the Legos that are really tall and got the weird round heads.
Yeah.
That's what the characters look like in Scarlet and Violet. They look like Playmobil figures. Anyway. It's just so half-assed because I said to you guys, you can play online or you can play with friends online. You can't play online you can't play with your friends online against other people. So if you want to play bowling with your friend, like I wanted to play bowling with Sam, so I was like, yeah, we'll just go online. We'll just play some bowling. We'll play with other people. We'll destroy. We'll dominate in the same lobby. No, you can go into friends and you can play just you two playing bowling, or you can go online and play against 15 people. You can't bring your fucking friend in with you to the 15-player lobby. And you might be like, Ethan, that's bowling. That's fine, you know? Oh, that's fine, you know. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Fucking volleyball. 2-player game. You know what'd be great? If you could team up with your friend and play against other people. Climb the ladder. Climb the ranked ladder. You can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
You can either play against your friend in online, or get 4 friends, which if you bought Nintendo Switch Sports, chances are you do not have 4 friends, because you bought Nintendo Switch Sports. So you can either play against them with a CPU on your team, or you have to gather 4 friends, and then you can play 4-player. Or football. Say you have 4 friends. You know, it'd be great. It's 4-on-4. It'd be great to play. Us 3 and Sam, we could all go on to Switch Sports, play against other people. We could basically make this FIFA. We could make this FIFA without the shitty microtransactions. We could just have fun play that, right? No, you fucking can't. You can either go with your friends and play 1v1, or, get this, there's not even a 2v2 or a 3v3 mode in local, so you have to either have 2 friends or fucking 8 friends to play 4v4.
Oh my god.
Or you're playing with CPUs. So that's your choice, guys. That's your choice. Do you want to play 1v1 or do you want to play with CPUs? That's your options. Because you can... It's so unbelievably Nintendo. It's like we've gone back to the Wii U, not even the start of the Switch. Like, we've gone back to Wii U. Fucking ARMS had better online, dude. Like, genuinely. I just don't understand how you fucked it up. Like, genuinely. The online is so ridiculous. And the fact that there's no content locally, there's literally just the games against AI. There's no content in this video game. You'd think, oh, online, yeah, play with friends. Play against other people with your friends. No. One or the other. Fucking stupid.
This sounds like a tech demo that they just forgot to release when the game came out. Or when the console came out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's based on a series of tech demos, so that's probably why.
It genuinely does feel like this is what 1-2 Switch should have been. This should have been the game that came out alongside the console.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, to me, it just feels so backwards. Because it's like, it's even like unlocking customization. You can customize your, whatever they're called, your SWE or whatever it's called. I don't know what they're called. Abominations, dude. I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I like them to a point, but what I don't like about them is how there's only like 4 hairstyles, and all of the guys' hairstyles are either, to be fair, they do have some good hairstyles for like different, like for there's like 8 hairstyles and they're all pretty decent, but they're all fades for guys. Like they're all fades. Like they're all fades. So it's like, hope you like having a fade even if you don't have a fade, because my god, that's all you have is fades. And then the Switch characters, like the female designs, are all like the exact same as well. Like they're all like similar hairstyles to the point where you're like, okay, what's the point? Like genuinely, what's the point? Yeah. And then the cosmetics are awful because they're tied to like these battle passes, which you'd think would be a good idea, where it's like, oh, you know, they're basically scratch cards where the game randomly picks one of the 12 items, you unlock that, next it's a 1 in 11. It's like a gachapon machine, basically, where you just roll them out. There you go. It's a cool idea, except there's only 2 of them at launch, and there's a new one every week. And it's just like, okay, so you can roughly finish one of these cards in 2 hours, guys. So Nintendo has basically deemed that this game is only worth playing for 2 hours a week. And that's it, because you don't even get to hodl. You don't even get to your Bitcoin markets, boys and girls. Everybody hodl. Get your collectibles in now and spend them later. Get your Wumpa coins in now, boys. No, that's not a thing. As soon as you've unlocked everything, it's like, good job. Come back later. You can't even store up reward points to then spend on future stamps. It's stupid. It's absolutely garbage. As for the sports themselves, they're fine. They're genuinely fine. There are some that are... Bowling's basically the same. If you liked bowling in normal Wii Sports, you're going to like bowling here. If anything, it's probably slightly better because the actual way spin works is you do actually have to flick the wrist now. You can't just hold your Wiimote sideways and just swing it. You actually do have to do the flick of the wrist. So it's like, there's some actual gameplay to bowling. There's some refined stuff. My favorite of the new sports is badminton. It's a better version of tennis. You can also wave at people. It's pretty fucking sick. It's also what I've seen. It's the most comfy, like kind of humble, friendly community of the Switch sports people. Where the aggro side is fucking bowling and football. Where bowling, everybody gets strikes instantly, and everyone that doesn't get a 50 on the first 3 goes out instantly. And football is just everybody charging at a ball and hoping to dear God someone hits it. Badminton is just
how to play defense.
Looked very much like Rocket League, but with feet.
It basically
slow.
is. Badminton is just like a good version of tennis. Everybody waves at each other, and when they use their emotes, they do it to applaud each other for good plays and saying good job. They don't spam them like toxic people. Badminton's the place to be, guys, apparently. I like it quite a lot. But also, it just feels really good, because unlike tennis, which is just very much hitting it in the way it wants you to hit it, badminton, there's like top shots, there's drop shots, you can swing underarm and it'll fly it further into the court. There's like a load of different moves and ways that you can play it that just make it feel really intuitive, and I really like it. So that's probably my favorite. Chambara is still pretty good. It's probably better than it was in Resort. Hitting people is still very satisfying. There's 3 kinds of sticks that you can hit people with, so... it's very limited. Like it's like everything feels like a tech demo, where it's like, oh cool, we had a game 2 years ago called 51 Clubhouse games. Why are we now playing 6 outside games? Like that's basically what this game's called. It's 6 outside games, and it's like, why?
The thing I remarked upon when I was watching you and Sam play it was why do you need 3 different games that are based around smacking a ball over a net?
Tennis shouldn't have come back.
Yeah.
I've got to give it to Nintendo. It's an achievement to have a game mode that they have been making since 2006 be in a new video game and somehow be worse than it was in 2006, because I feel like this version of tennis is even worse than the original, and the original wasn't that great either. It does just feel like a fucking Wii tech demo. Tennis does, and it just doesn't feel good. I am also not a huge fan of volleyball either. Volleyball genuinely is slow and it just feels boring. It genuinely does. Especially when you're playing online, because you're playing with a bunch of fucking people that you have no control over, and it just doesn't feel good. It's the same 3 motions. It's up, jump, and slam. And it's just the exact same motions every single time until someone fucks it up. It's the exact same 3 motions. There's no variety to it. And it just doesn't work well. And then finally, football, which is the most in-depth one, probably. It's the one that feels less tech demo-y, but even then, it still feels like a tech demo. But there is stuff like, it's basically Rocket League on foot, but with really shitty motion controls, is the way it feels. Yeah. And some people really like it. Sam really likes it. It's his favorite. I just don't click with it. To me, it just feels awful. The pitch is too big. It feels like they were going for Rocket League and they ended up with Fall Guys. Like, genuinely, that's where we're landing. It feels like 4-ball, except at least with 4-ball, you have like 8v8 or 9v9, and there's a load of little beans chasing the big ball and everyone's fucking it up. Whereas here, it's just 4 people.
At least Rocket League is not Rocket League. Fall Guys is just always entertaining because at least on some level it's goofy.
And it's also one mini game out of like, what was originally 24, but is now like 50, and it's like this is 1 in 6.
Yeah.
Also, the ranked modes aren't even that in depth. You just have to play like 10 matches of each mode, and you just get put in ranked, and then it's your bare bones ranked system.
Pro.
Yeah, it's not even that great of a system. It's very much the win some, gain rank, lose some, lose rank. There's no initial placements. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It just kind of keeps track of your skill level, and also it means nothing because I was playing with a bunch of E ranks and everyone was still getting strikes in bowling. So it's it just doesn't feel like it's meaning anything. At least it won't until all of the good players are up in A. And I'm stuck back down with the 8-year-olds, but I've got to wait for a bit to weed out the professionals, I guess.
Watching you play last night was really funny because you won the solitary game and then got sent to
the Shadow Realm.
Dude. I got sent
Siberia,
to fucking, yeah.
I got sent to the. I don't know what happened. I got sent to fucking Nintendo jail where all the Mii's started showing up that looked suspicious, and tragedy ensued.
Had questionable names.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my, we can't even say one of their names. It was awful. Like
It was fun.
It was a funny name, but I can't say it.
Meanwhile, Sam is over there playing with a dude named Yams.
Yeah, exactly. So no, my impressions of Wii Sports is it worth it? If you have a family, it might be worth it, but there's nothing to write home about here. If anything, Nintendo was kind of on a good run with multiplayer games for a while, where we were finally going, shit, they're listening, they care, and now I'm like,
Nope.
No, they don't. I'm 100% seeing Splatoon 3 have that stupid fucking map system again where we're waiting 4 hours just to play something that isn't
Moray Towers.
Moray Towers, dude, or Urchin Underpass.
Kelp Dome.
Or was it Black Belly Skate Park? Was that what it was? Like
Black Belly Skate Park.
Arowana
like
Mall.
Arowana Mall. Yeah.
Camp Cuttlefish.
Camp Cuttlefish.
I did not like that one. I did not like the camp level.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Camp Cuttlefish. But now it's like it does feel it feels like a tech demo that they paid for. Like that I paid for. And it's like not in a good way. But yeah. What wasn't a tech demo though was Bigsnax, dude. That was game of the year.
Yeah.
I'll quickly talk about it. I don't have much to say, but Bugsnax is now available on all platforms, and it came with a free update, which actually added, if you initially play Bugsnax, it has like 8 areas or something like that, ridiculous. It's about 6 hours long usually. This probably adds another area, and it adds a new secret area as well. It adds a new secret Bugsnax, who is a cappuccino Bugsnax. And the gimmick of that secret Bugsnax is once you find him in this tomb, this Bugsnax is really quick and it runs to a random area of the entire map, and you have to catch it without getting caught, or if it sees you, it runs away to a whole different area of the map, and it's like this massive fucking hunt for this cappuccino. But no, Bugsnax is the opposite of that, where it's something where they could have charged $5 for it. They could have easily have charged money for it. They shouldn't have they didn't need to have made it a free update, because it's just a really nice chunk of Bugsnax content, where it is just a whole new area. The gimmick is all the Bugsnax are big in this area, and you've got to shrink them down with this shrink spice. And what I like for it is they made new Bugsnax for it. Again, they could have very easily have just had it be the gimmick was they're big, so it's just the same Bugsnax, but they're big now, and then you just have to shrink them down. And they did. There were some that were just big, like there's a big bunger, but it's got a new name because it's a big bunger and it's slightly different. I love it. It's called like the Bunger Royale or something, and I'm like, that's really funny. I'm like, that's really funny. I was like, I looked at that and I was like, that's like, I gave them a round of applause for that. I was like, that one's really good. But then there are a ton of new ones as well. Like there's Chocolant, which is like a little ant that's made of little chocolate drops from cookies, and it's like, there's some really good ones. There's a celery stick one, which is like this big praying mantis looking thing. There's a spaghetti spider. I think it's called Spagda or something. It's like there's a big spaghetti spider, which is pretty cool. There's a big there's like a big meatball that just rolls around. It's like they've got some really fun ones. the big boss of the area is a cheese board, and I just love it because it's like the dumbest thing ever. It's just called like cheese border or something. It's just like a big cheese board with like a fucking lid on it, and you've got to crack the lid open to chuck the shrink spice on it, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just more Bugsnax, and I just look at it and I'm like, I'm so happy that game came out when it did, and I do genuinely love Bugsnax quite a bit, and it was a really fun time to go back and play that game for like 3 hours. Like, I was in Discord while I was having it. Cal heard me. I was just fucking giggling to myself like the whole time I was playing it. Like, I genuinely could not stop laughing.
He really was.
Like, there's like Millie Mochi is like my new favorite Bugsnax ever, dude. Like, it's like a bunch of mochi balls together, but it like sounds like it's like Millie Mochi. Like, it's just like it just sounds so stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Max Mittelman, by the way. It sounded like Max Mittelman. I would,
Middle Mochi.
Yeah, I wonder if it is. Like, I wonder.
I just checked the behind the voice actors, and
is
it
Millie
hasn't
Mochi
been
on
updated
there?
yet. No, it hasn't been updated yet.
I'm having a look. Millie Mochi. Do we? Oh no, it's not. It's Jeremy Guskin that does Millie Mochi. Apparently, which ones did he do? I want to know now. Yeah, I want to know which Bugsnax you are now, Jeremy. Side tangent. Let's go. Where are you?
I don't see his name in here.
Where are they?
That's apparently who he is. That's apparently who did it. Bugsnax. Let's have a look.
I will say there is something very just comedic about seeing all of these like A-list voice actors next to pictures of
I love
Bugsnax.
like Robbie Damon.
Yeah.
I love the fact. My favorite fact is that Robbie Damon is in the game. He doesn't actually voice any of the members of Snacksburg. He is solely a Bugsnax VO.
Yeah.
Like, Max does some of the Bugsnax, but also plays Philbo, who's the mayor. Or you have Cassandra Lee Morris, who does some of the Bugsnax, but she also plays what's her name? Bethica, I think. What's her
Bethica.
name? Yeah. Why do I know more about Bugsnax than I know about any other video game? Like, you could ask me who the fuck are the characters in Horizon, your game of the year
Yeah, I was
so
just
far,
gonna
Ethan, and I'm like, was it Val? Was Val his name? And Errand? Val, Errand,
Varl.
Zoe, I've already, Katalo. I don't remember what the other girl's name was. Did it begin with an A?
Alva.
Yeah, it was an A, I knew that. But it's
Ethan
like,
Trinity.
yeah, but
Ethan
it's,
could give us an essay on Scoopy Banoopy.
oh, I fucking love Scoopy Banoopy, fucking legend. But no, and it just, to be fair, like, I don't want to start beef, right? But and we're not a news outlet, we're not a media outlet. When we do a review of a video game, it's just our opinions, right? We don't give a shit. We don't want it to be taken seriously. It's just our opinions on a video game, and that's what people should take it as. But it was like, I saw Nintendo Life gave Bugsnax a review score of 6 out of 10, and I was like, you fuckers would literally gave Switch Sports a 7. You fuckers gave Switch Sports a 7, and you give, or it's like they gave it like a 6 as well. And I'm like, you think Bugsnax is on the same level as this tech demo? Like, fucking hell, dude. Like, it's just like, sometimes I'm just like, come on, have some fun, dude, just because it's not a Nintendo game. Which is why, guys, just a little fun fact. This is a little opinion from me. Never take reviewers or gaming opinions from anything that has Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation in their name, because there's 100% a bias behind it. And just don't get triggered like I do when my poor Bugsnax gets fucking destroyed because it's not a Nintendo game. And I have no ill will towards Nintendo Life, but I did just sit there and go, really, we're giving this the same score as Switch Sports. There's a very much... Young Horses put a lot of time and effort and love into Bugsnax, and Nintendo put about 20 minutes into Switch Sports, and I'm like, come on, like, take your bias out your ass, dude. Like, genuinely, Switch Sports is like a 4. Come on, but no, Bigsnax is great. Highly recommend it. Alrighty, Hunter, let's talk about Nobody Saves the World, because I really need a break. My throat's killing me.
Alrighty.
So
Nobody Saves the World is, or I started it with my older brother anyhow. I didn't play.
Oh, you playing it in co-op?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Pretty functional, except there was this one, like, specific room in one of the dungeons that gave us, like, a lag spike for no apparent reason. But aside from that, for the couple of hours we were playing yesterday, completely serviceable.
Free and competent.
Nobody saves.
Put that on
Yeah.
the box.
Put that on the box, dude.
Serviceable.
For people who don't know what Nobody Saves the World is, it's the newest game from Drinkbox, the studio behind Guacamelee, which is a Metroidvania for anyone who forgot.
Guacamelee 2 also. Was it Severed, that other game that they made? For the Vita?
Severed, I believe, was the one for the Vita, yeah.
Good studio.
And
I liked the original Guacamelee. I never played 2, but it has my seal of approval for being one of the only Metroidvanias that I actually finished. So congratulations.
Yeah. Their games always bring a lot of personality to them, and this one is no different. In just the opening minutes, the writing was enough to get a chuckle out of me. The general loop is, it's like a dungeon crawling, like a dungeon crawler, essentially. The gimmick is centered around, you start off the game as this nobody, as the title would indicate, just this white mass of almost goo, he seems like, with hollow eyes, that is, his basic attack is this wimpy little push, and he gets this wand that lets him shapeshift, and then from then on, the loop is essentially you get these forms, get the form you get to shapeshift into as a rat, and then from there it like spider webs out into other forms, which it functions like a class in any kind of RPG, really. And, you play with that class more, you unlock more forms, and it's a decent feedback loop that way. We unlocked about 4 or 5 of them, and we wanted to stick to the ones that we were already using to get the other one, because you unlock them at different rates. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these there are by the end.
I had no clue. It's downloaded on my Xbox. It was just one of those games that I just didn't have a chance to ever play. But I wanted.
Yeah, it came out in January initially, but I didn't get the chance to play it until it came to PlayStation. And
I just do my
I
just do my classic of whenever an indie game usually shows up on Xbox, even if I don't have any intention on playing it, I download it so that it gets the Game Pass download number, so that Xbox has to pay them. That's like my thing. That's what I do. Literally, Young Horses.
That's a good
Young
play.
Horses, you should be thanking me right now. Not only did I download Bugsnax again to my Xbox, I got the shitty Xbox app up on my PC and downloaded it here as well. You should be thanking me.
You should be grateful.
You should be grateful, dude. I am a Bugsnax simp, dude, as long as it doesn't cost me anything extra. That's technically 3 versions of the game I've now owned, but I haven't bought a single one of them because I got the first one on Plus. So it's like, I'm so sorry, Young Horses. I'm so sorry.
It's like the anti me with Supergiant, where I find different ways to purchase it.
Well, you see, to me that would be Persona. If Persona 5 went anywhere else other than PlayStation, I'd buy a copy of it everywhere, but it's never gonna happen because Atlas is too busy fucking talking about dance shows or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Remember when we said we talk about that on this podcast?
Yeah. Really overestimating the gravity of the announcement there.
We have time, dude. I could roll up my sleeves in a bit. Give me a chance. Let's see how far we get through these video games and see how willing I am to beat them a new one. We'll see. But yeah,
so far Nobody Saves the World. Like the classes, with the exception of we got 5 of them, and with the exception of the Archer, I've enjoyed playing around with each of them so far. The rat's fun. It has this stupid little chompy visual for when you bite things. Mm-hmm. It's entertaining that way. The sword guy, he doesn't have a guard. They just call him a guard. Is cool. Basic kind of sword. Functions very similarly to one of the old Zelda top-down Zelda games where you just sit there and swing the sword into No Tomorrow. The reason the Archer sucks is because you don't use the other stick to aim. Your aiming is tied to where you're looking while you move.
Oh, I hate that.
And
not a fan of that.
And you can lock yourself in the direction and still move, but that still sucks. It was not pleasant to play as for just the short little bit that I was trying it out. They do have different damage types too, so And it seems like the dungeons, the general loop of the dungeons is it tells you what kind of damage types will be needed to get through them. And so then you get to use those strategically that way. There's like a dark, light, sharp, blunt, and I think there were 4 other ones that I can't quite recall. But when you go into those dungeons, some enemies will have a shield that can only be broken by the specific damage type, and then you can go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now it's a game that does it right. It has like that. I feel like it has that certain audience for it. Where I feel like if you're into this kind of video game, I feel like it's going to be way up your alley. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, it's now available everywhere. By the way, this game has done its Xbox exclusivity. It's now available everywhere essentially. But it's like, I feel like this is up a lot of people's streets, and especially because we are getting to that drought season. It is going to be the drought because realistically, what we're talking about here, there's games in June, there's games in July, but unless you're a JRPG fan or a visual novel fan or sort of a Mario sports fan, you poor fucking soul, there's not much
game fan.
There's not much food on the table, you know. There's some niche foods on the table, but there's no main course. So it's like we've got a while. So it's like
you might not like the flavor.
Exactly. Maybe AI or, you know, Xenoblade isn't your cup of tea, which to many it isn't. And it's like you've got this time now where nothing's coming out because everything got pushed to autumn. So, you know, I feel like this is one of those games that, hey, if you missed it in January, now's your chance. Go and give it a try.
Especially if you've got someone to like play the game with, because I feel like any kind of tedium that might come from trying to unlock everything, if you're wanting to do that, is kind of lessened by the fact that you'll have someone else to do it with, and like your pool of things is shared.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I play the guard and upgrade him for like let's just say like 4 levels of his skills and all that, and my brother were to switch to the guard, he would have a guard identical to mine.
Nice. That's cool.
So it's So it's nice in that regard as far as the co-op is. I could see this maybe getting tedious if I were trying to play it for a really long time on my own, but it's not how I'm going to be doing this. No. So, you know. Yeah.
Like I say, it's on Game Pass. So if you have an Xbox, you don't even have to buy it for extra cost. You can just get that Game Pass. Save yourself some money. Will it be on PlayStation's Platinum Bollocks Pass, whatever the fuck they're calling it? Who knows? Probably not. Probably not. You'll have Returnal, though, and that'll be the only game you'll have for 6 months, but hey, it's a good one. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. What was next on the list? Oh, Stanley Parable. Is this the little indie segment? Shall we talk about Stanley Parable?
Oh, yeah.
God, Stanley Parable is fantastic. And I don't want to spoil it. I really don't want to spoil the Stanley Parable, because if you haven't played the Stanley Parable, one, you need to play the Stanley Parable. It is an indie darling from 2013, which is essentially a game that takes the piss out of video games, especially linear narrative video games, and it is fantastic. It is about it's the story of a man named Stanley, who is employee 427 at a generic company, who slowly realizes one day that all of his co-workers have gone, and he has to try and figure out why he's the only person in the office. And it's a random bullshit story that's just about a load of random bullshit happening, and it very much it plays with expectations, and it plays with that whole narrative choice and dialogue stuff. So it'd be like, when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he went through the door on his left, and obviously because you're in control, you can head through the right, and then the story changes based on your choices, and it's this constant dialogue. And there's so many stupid endings, whether it's like you'll just hear stuff where it's like the narrator will have a go at you because you stayed in the broom closet for too long and you shut yourself in, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you sitting in the broom closet? And there are so many of these fun little things where it just goes off on a journey, and it's on everywhere now. And it's like one of those things where if you enjoy stupid comedy and you love meta references and if you just love the idea and what makes video games work and how stories work in video games, I would highly recommend it. It is brilliant. It is funny. It is creepy. It is everything that you could ask for from one of these games. it fucks with you. It fucks with you on such a meta level where you're just like, who knows what's going to be next? And then Ultra Deluxe comes along, where they are very kindly saying that they've expanded the content. And when we say they've expanded the content, my fucking god, they have expanded the content. I don't want to spoil what that extra content is, because it's a joy to play, and I genuinely did not expect it. And the reason that I ended up buying this game and playing it so quickly was I wasn't initially planning on it, but I saw someone give the slightest spoiler, and it made me so eager to play it that I had to play it instantly, because I was like, that's what they're doing with it. I need to. It is... I don't know, Hunter, what the fuck are you doing with that knife? No!
Hunter, why'd you get the knife out?
Oh, there was a string coming off of my glove.
So you were like, let me get the fucking butcher knife?
Let me get the knife.
It was the only sharp one around, unless you wanted me to grab the sword.
Get some scissors, for fuck's sake.
I didn't want to use the sword.
God damn
I
it.
don't have scissors in the room.
What the fuck?
You're a
Why would I have scissors when I have this?
fucking hell. Anyway.
Why do you not have scissors? You have every other bladed instrument.
Because I don't need the
Where's
scissors.
the scissors, Hunter?
I don't. I honestly, like, genuinely. But anyway, Stanley Parable. It's fantastic, and the Ultra Deluxe content is well worth the price of entry alone. On top of it, you get, and also it's not a very long game. You can get through all of it, including the Ultra Deluxe content, probably in 5 hours, less than 5 hours. And it's just so brilliantly written. And it's like, it's a game straight out of 2013, and you'll get some of the humor, and you're like, oh, this is such video game humor from that time. And then you realize it's a re-release of a game in 2022. And if you think of what the Stanley Parable is, you probably think, I wonder how that new content is going to blend with the old content, and how would they go about that, I wonder, without spoiling anything. And it's just like, it's just this brilliant commentary on narrative video games and just the whole idea of it in general. And it's just made me respect it even more. It's still funny, it's still brilliant, and the new content is some of the best. It's probably the best stuff in the video game. It is incredible, and I'd recommend anybody to play it. I absolutely adored it. Yeah, it's one of those ones that should be on people's lists if you're into that kind of thing, and it's literally on everything. It is literally...
That's good to hear, because it is on my list.
It's on PC, it's on PlayStation, it's on Switch, it's on Xbox, it's on everything. And the funny thing is as well, is each version of it is unique, because of course it is.
Nice.
So on PlayStation, all the lines are changed to trophies instead of mentioning achievements. On Switch, it will mention that you're on Switch, and there'll also be a few nods to Nintendo and stuff like that in it. If you're on Steam, it outright calls out Steam, and there's a load of Steam nods and things to do with that. And it's like, it's like they didn't just port this game; they genuinely bespokely made it for each version by changing some of the lines, changing some of the things, so that everything fits in. And you're not going to be like, you're not going to sit there and you're not going to think, oh, I can see that was a very much a joke for when it released on 2013 on PC. It's not that. They changed everything, and it's like I said, it's fantastic, and I genuinely would recommend that everybody gives it a shot if you're into that kind of thing. That is, it's not a game for everybody though. I will say that if you're not into it, you might not be into it. But if you're into games, that
if you're not into like
and
narratives or meta commentary,
yeah. And if you're into seeing stupid shit and the game fucking with you, and then you also telling the game to go fuck itself and trying to piss it about with it and break it, the game loves you trying to break it, by the way. There is no jump button, so do with that what you will. There are many things where you can climb up on desks and you're thinking that you have the last laugh with the game, that you're beating it, and then you don't realize that might actually be intended. Like I say, the game is fucking with you in a way. And, I think the Stanley Parable's tagline is "the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never," because it's constantly looping, and no end is the true ending, and there's no satisfying conclusion, there's no real end to it. It just is what it is, and it's brilliant. And yeah, so definitely play it. It's pretty fantastic. It's also not that expensive. I think it's like $20. It's pretty decent. Anyway,
Kyle, what have you been up to? You've been quiet. You've been pretty quiet, bud. What have you been up to? Other than Sonic, which was so long ago. It's been an hour since you last spoke. Don't worry, guys. This is my quota of video games for the year. You won't hear from me again until like fucking Xenoblade or Forspoken.
He'll come to us on Thursday next week and be like, "What are we talking about?"
Yeah, I won't have played anything, dude. I genuinely won't have played anything.
But anyways, I've had this last week off of work, and so I decided to take this time to get through a game that's been on my backlog since 2015, and that is the lovely and brilliant and very prone to crashing my Wii U, Xenoblade X.
Oh no. I'm just like, think of a video game that's just like critically acclaimed. Then when you said Wii U, I'm like, fuck, there's only like 5 games on that thing. I'm screwed. I can't.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Zombie U.
In fact, Arkham City was on Wii U.
I think it was, yeah.
Was it City or was it Origins?
No, it was City. I think Origins also was on Wii U. I'm going to look that up.
But yes, folks, I dusted off the fossil of the Wii U, blew off all the dust.
How much? There's so much dust.
Plugged in all my everything.
It was on Wii U.
Turned on the only game that is still stuck on the Wii U.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah.
I know what a world it is.
I said the only game, Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Woolly World's great.
It's a great game. It's the best Yoshi game.
It took you till 2022 to play this Xenoblade X hoopla.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're coming at Yoshi's Woolly World?
Yeah, you're coming at my home, Ethan? Look, it's still on my shelf. I love Yoshi's Woolly World.
I don't think Kyle was expecting us both to be so in Yoshi's corner here.
Look at his face.
Look at that face.
Look at Poochie.
I do like Poochie.
Look at all his outfits. Remember when Amiibos did
can't
shit?
see that, Ethan.
Remember when Amiibos did shit?
There was a skeleton Yoshi. It was my favorite.
Of course it was.
Yo, do you remember when they did the dumpster truck fat fucking woolly Yoshis, dude? Oh, I can't get it. Well, they did like the fat woolly Yoshis that were Amiibos. Those were fucking high.
They were giant, yeah.
Yes.
I wish I had one. Like, those are the big regrets, dude. Because it was like 2015, I didn't have income, and I was like, "That's tragic." Because I would have taken one of those, like genuinely. Anyway, Xenoblade X is not Yoshi's Woolly World, but it's a close second.
Unfortunately,
carry on. I do have Xeno X as well. It's right next to Woolly World, actually. There we go. It's there. Woo!
Nice.
One day I'll play it.
Yeah, anyway. I finally got to that. It was better than I remembered it being. And I think that's because I finally understood what I was supposed to do. So I got this game on launch back in 2015, or near enough on launch.
Of course you did.
And because it's a monolith game, they don't explain anything. So I didn't understand anything.
Surprised they translated it. Wouldn't be surprised if they just left it in Japanese and just left you to fucking roll with it, dude. Just be like, yeah.
I mean, they might have.
Subtitles would have just been hieroglyphics, not even Japanese.
They might have not translated anything. I don't know. I can't open the manual or my game crashes. So,
I mean, did they translate it properly though? That's the real question. Because this one, everyone knows. Well,
it felt like it.
Everyone knows that this was the only Xenoblade game to this date that was handled by NOA and not NOE.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everybody's American in Xeno X, by the way. If people were wondering, that's why.
Correct.
And I assume that Xenoblade 3 has also been localized by Nintendo of Europe still, because we still have the English voices.
I'd assume, yeah.
So it's an interesting one. I don't know why that happened. I feel like I don't know why that actually happened. Why did this one get
by Nintendo of America? The X stands for extreme.
That's probably why, dude. That's probably why. I always did think that was weird. The Xenoblade Chronicles X. I always feel like this is because it's obviously now that we have Xeno 1, 2, and 3, it feels like it's the odd one out, the odd child out. It doesn't even feel like it's in line with the story, unless they pull a mad one in the second half of Xenoblade 3 and make that one connect as well. It feels like it doesn't connect, and I'm like, God, they probably should have just called it. They should have just called it Xenoblade X and removed the Chronicles. But then I was like, but in Japan it's just called Xenoblade, so I'm like, we're fucked anyway. I don't know what they should have called this game. But anyway,
hear me out. The X is actually a 10 And it's the 10th game in the series.
Oh, don't fucking do it, dude.
And Takahashi's just screwing
that's some
with us.
Danganronpa bullshit right there, dude. That's some Danganronpa bullshit.
Gears. 3 other ones is still not enough.
The 3
No, we're only at like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, if you had done the originals, it would have been 6. If he got to do all 6, that would have been 6, 7. No, there still would have been 9, so it wouldn't have been fucking any. Yeah. Doesn't work.
Well, I mean, if he got his way, he would have done 6 episodes of Gears and 6 episodes of Saga.
No, yeah, then that's well off.
Well,
then.
that
This would have
still
been
doesn't
Xenoblade
work,
14.
And that
Yeah.
puts us to 12,
12.
which is way more than 10.
Yeah, this would have been 14 then because of Xenoblade 1. Yeah. Just doesn't work. Oh well. Guess it should have been cancelled.
Don't worry, it's stuck on the Wii U. It's basically the same thing.
True. You know it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games. It's going to be tragic. Where there's going to be no form of Wii U emulation. Because everything got ported to Switch. So it's just going to be stuck there forever. It's going to be one of those fucking JRPGs that gets stupid expensive in the future. Because you need like the stupid console with the stupid fucking tablet, the Playmobil tablet. Then you need a hard drive that can have the fucking updates on it. And the game. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I forgot how bad the Wii U tablet was.
Oh, it's like a Playmobil toy. Dude.
It's the
awful.
most uncomfortable thing ever.
Yeah.
I used that thing for a whole week, and then when I was done with X, I booted up Guilty Gear just to do something normal, to desensitize my brain, and I forgot what a normal controller felt like.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I feel like...
Is there not an option to use like a Pro controller or something?
There is, but I don't have one.
Oh.
Oh, you can use a Pro controller with it?
Yeah.
Nice,
That's
I
good
have
to
one of
know.
them. Nice.
You still need the gamepad for like fast traveling and shit, because that's where your map is.
Well, of course.
But you can just
Guess
like
I'll walk.
you can just like pop that on a stand.
True. But no, I feel like people forget, because we've had the Switch for so long now, so the Switch just kind of feels normal. But it was kind of weird how premium the Switch did feel when we originally got it, compared to the fucking Playmobil toy that was the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always a fun one. So how did you find it, and Kyle? You know, after all these years, after you finally got used to what the fuck the gameplay was, how did you feel?
So the game does use, like, for its combat, it does use Xenoblade 1's combat, where it has like the 8 arts on a menu, or just on a bar.
You lost me.
Oh, the diet MMO thing.
Yeah.
Dude, the fucking We Play WoW once combat system. We like WoW, guys.
So it wasn't fun going back to that, but
Remember Wrath of the
we
Lich King, dude?
we
We played WoW. Fucking Xenoblade X's combat. Xenoblade 1's combat designer, dude, is a WoW classic player, and you cannot tell me otherwise, dude. You cannot tell me. He also liked fucking old school RuneScape. You cannot tell me otherwise. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, so the combat uses Xenoblade 1's poopy art bar.
Line, dude. The line.
The line. It sucks.
It does.
And there's like a class system in the game where you choose what weapon route you go down. I ended up going dual sword, dual guns.
That sounds like a good combo.
Dual sword,
I
dual
mean,
gun?
what's better than one sword? Two sword.
2 swords. Yeah.
2 swords.
Also, that ended up being like the most broken class in the game, and I didn't know that when I decided to go down there.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
What
dude.
weapon would be better than 2 swords?
Exactly. There is a lightsaber you can get. So
Were there 2 of them? Is one double-sided? It doesn't matter.
fair.
Of course.
Yeah, also when I stopped playing this game the first time a million years ago, I was actually stupid close to the end, so I feel kind of dumb. I think I stopped after chapter 10 and there's 12 chapters, So
Yeah, listening to you tell Ethan that
Good
you
job,
beat it in a
Kyle.
week yesterday, and be like, "Oh yeah, you could do it," when you left out the detail
Dude,
that you
it's
skipped
easy.
the cutscenes up until nearly the end was really funny.
dude, it's easy.
It's easy.
Just skip over all of Matt Mercer's dialogue and you're fine.
Oh, pour one out for Matt Mercer.
Yeah, Matt Mercer's
he's
in
cool.
it. Nice.
Yeah, of course he is.
Pog. Pretty hot.
Localization was done by NOA. Of course he was in it.
That doesn't mean anything.
I bet Yuri Lowenthal's in it too.
He is one of the creative character voices,
He
yeah.
fucking is.
So was Robbie Damon.
Oh, fucking, literally, why is it?
Ray Chase is also in this.
Why? What the fuck?
Was Erica
hell?
Lindbeck in this game?
No.
Can I just say, if I was a voice
I
actor,
think this is before she blew
if
up.
I was a
so
voice
there's
actor
that.
in America, I want their fucking agent, dude. Because Jesus Christ, like genuinely, they're in like every damn video game. The same
Cup
one.
of Tea Productions. They're powerful, dude.
Yeah. Crazy.
Kira
Yeah.
Buckland is one of the creative character voices, though.
Oh, hype. She's great.
So that's neat. So is Christina V. That's the one I ended up using.
Nah.
Ah. The more you know. But no.
They also got Karina Reeves and Adam Howden to do creative character voices also. Shulk and Fiora as a neat little nod.
Do they sound like Shulk and Fiora?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
That's cringe, bro. That's fucking cringe. Imagine taking the two worst characters from that video game and bringing them back. Imagine doing it again for 2 as well. Fucking hell, dude. Fucking yeet. Can't wait for them
Say
to
what
come
you
back
will-
for 3 as well.
Say what you want about Shulk. Adam Howden did a fantastic job with him.
No. I disagree.
All right.
No, I do.
Well,
I like Adam Howden.
it's all right that you're wrong.
I like
We
Adam
forgive
Howden.
you.
He's cool. I just don't like Shulk. Can't wait for the flashbacks of him in this new game. Can't wait.
Just watch him get killed on screen.
Oh, fucking, I'll laugh, dude.
I want the heads to roll.
Yeah, dude.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah. Tragedy, more like comedy, dude. Like, genuinely. Then as the Xenoblade 1 fans laugh at the Xenoblade 2 characters die, and I'll be fucking there crying myself. I'll be like, no. Why? I just wanted your side to die, not the other. It's fine, guys. They won't show the Xenoblade
So how
2
does it stack
characters.
up in reference to the rest of the series?
That's a good question.
In reference, I think it's better than 1.
What is
And-
it? Sorry.
Saga 2.
I'm so fucking toxic, bro. I'm so
You
fucking
really are,
toxic.
dude.
The thing is, I've been replaying Xeno 1, and these are like, it's not even like memeing. I still do not like this video. I'm back in Button Valley, dude, so I can't be fucking happy. This shit sucks. Even if I accept that I think the story is pretty good, right? I think the story is pretty alright. The gameplay sucks. And I think the open world design also sucks. Because I felt like Xenoblade 2, you could actually explore the areas, whereas in Xenoblade 1, it feels like there's a very specific path you have to take. And that's it.
Mhm.
Because they're trying to cram the whole map onto these weird fucking shaped creatures in the sky, and it just doesn't feel like it works that well. It feels like they were going for Dark Souls, but it doesn't really work.
Mm.
But anyway, sorry, your ranking. So it's better than Xeno 1. It's better than
Better than
Xenosaga
Xeno
Episode 2.
Correct. I'd probably put it above Gears. I don't know. I did put out a tier list of where I ranked these.
Gosh,
So let's consult that before someone calls me out.
oh, don't worry, no one's going to
Um,
call you out, Carl. We're at that.
Yeah, this is
we're at-
true.
We're at the hour 33 mark, dude. No one's here.
I put it at 6 out of 8.
Nice.
So, with the caveat that I don't think any of these are bad video games.
Ah,
Even like the worst ones are just average.
except for ooh,
But-
ew, meh. Poor Xenoblade 1. Dude. You're too mean to Xenoblade 1, Carl. You're too mean.
Ethan, have you listened to yourself in the last 2 minutes?
Dude, I was playing Xenoblade 1 earlier, right? And there's a great scene, and it's like, well, it's one of my favorite scenes in this video game, right? This is not me chatting shit, by the way. This is a genuine compliment.
And it's the scene where you've got Dunban, Melly, and Ricky, and it's when they fell off the fucking...
I knew you were gonna say that. That was a good scene.
That's a good one.
And it's that scene between them, and I fucking love it. And then it makes me realize how much more I would love Xenoblade Chronicles if Shulk and fucking Fiora were not characters in that video game. Like, genuinely.
We had this conversation when we played the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I genuinely would have just loved a game with Ryan, Charlotte, Ricky, Melliot, and Dunban. That would have been great. Would have loved it. Because those characters are just so damn good.
Yeah.
God, every time Ryan shows up, I just fucking laugh. And I'm like, I can't tell if I'm doing it ironically or just genuinely at this point. Because he'll just say
Let's get the
something and
Wii.
just giggle. Yeah, let's get the Wii. He mentioned his muscles or something in a scene that I just said like earlier, and I was like, I just started laughing. It's like, you just saw Fiora for the first time since the thing. We're in the deep end here. If you're listening to this, you've played Xeno 1, right? That's happened, and the first thing he mentions is his fucking muscles. It's not like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's just muscle time, baby. It's just like, you like, look at me. It's like, God damn it, right? Stop flexing again.
We love Ryan.
You love to see it, but no. So
Yeah, X is a lot better than I remember it being. I definitely gave this game way too much flack,
Yeah,
but that was just from like soured memories. Game's good. Game is good. If you can track down a Wii U and a copy of this game,
which is getting harder
Big.
and harder.
big recommend. Especially like if you're a big into open world games, because this game is freaking massive. Like bigger than Breath of the Wild, massive. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, there you go. The more you know. Is that everything?
I'm glad to finally have it done, so I never have to touch my Wii U again.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Uh,
You can hold a funeral for it now.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just throw it out the window like Scott the Woz.
Yeah, it's fine. He's got 8 of them.
That's where they all went.
Yeah, man. Oh dear. Right, are we done then? Are we done?
Yeah,
I
Did we
think
even
so.
want to
Unless you
mention
talk about
Persona?
Elden Ring.
Did we want to even mention
Presumptus.
Persona's shit that they fucked
No.
up?
I mean,
No. I mean, we can
It's
just
nothing to
pull it.
talk about.
the announcement was as lame as the other ones.
The announcement is
Big
that there's
shock.
more announcements coming.
The announcement was, oh yeah, the thing you're looking for is in October. Have fun. Like,
Your
have fun
princess is in
waiting.
another castle.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy 15 trailer for the trailer with the release date.
I had a look at the
They did
ticket
that
price.
once. It was stupid.
The ticket prices are out,
I
by
don't
the
get
way,
Square
for
Enix.
the festival thing. Hunter, it's like 30, it's like 27 quid a day for each one,
No.
and I'm like, that's a lot. I'll just wait
That
for
is-
the YouTube upload.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like, that is a lot.
It's a lot, and because it's in Japan, it's also gonna be like it's gonna
Stupid
be like
o'clock.
stupid o'clock, dude. It's like, what's the fucking point? I'm not gonna watch it on demand because it'll be up on YouTube if there's an announcement. Which there will
Yeah.
be, but it's like, don't need to wait. Why wait? Most of it will be on YouTube probably.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's so stupid. Like fucking. Like I think the amount of dislikes on YouTube is stupid because it's like, come on guys, it's not YouTube Rewind. Calm down. Stop acting entitled. But also
It's
it's
okay,
like,
we don't see the dislikes anymore.
why have like 8 announcements over the year if it's just gonna be the same fucking rug pull every time of merch, random fucking arbitrary thing like mouthwash, and then random thing that's a festival or an event? Like, I'm just like, why? Why?
And
How
most of it happens in Japan.
can we really be doing this another 4 times until this is over? Like, what have they got left? I'm struggling here.
The wild thing is, and I think we said this back when we were talking about having it to talk about last week or whatever, is that I feel like it's been happening for so much longer than it has.
It does.
It feels like the stupid Smash Bros. Fighter Pass 2 hoopla, where it's just like, finish off and put me out of my misery.
The suffering never ends. It's like the layers of mementos, dude. It is.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. It's like fucking Tartarus. You're like, Jesus Christ. Like, why? Why? Could you imagine if you climbed Tartarus and then every fucking 30 floors you got like Persona mouthwash and you're like, I'm not climbing. You can't make me. But they're like, oh, but what if it's not mouthwash the next time? And you climb up and then it's fucking deodorant. You're like, God. God damn it. For the love of anything, just give us something that isn't a piece of fucking hygiene and like why
very delightful scent.
Like, God, you'd think they're fucking Smash fans with the amount of fucking hygiene like products they're putting out here, dude. Like, jeez, it's so fucking stupid. Like, no one, like, it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh. Oh well, next one's in June. Get ready for the disappointment. I'm telling you now. If it's anything that's actually big, it's during one of the conferences. It's PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo. If nothing happens after that, it's mouthwash again, which is good. If we get to the end of the month, we know it's mouthwash. Yeah. Maybe the P1 and P2 mouthwashes.
It'll be some gum.
Do you know what the announcement will be? I've just realised, because you know when June is. June is when the PlayStation service comes out. I bet you the announcement is the old Persona games are on the PS1 thing for the emulation. That's it. That'll be what it is. I'll take it.
At least give us a way to play those. It'd be nice.
True. Actually, they won't do that because that would require them giving people what they want.
Caring.
Yeah. Persona 2, a decent way to play it, please. That's all we're asking for. Oh well. I'm done stalling. That's been our show, everybody. As always, our links are on screen right now. You can go and follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with everything that we do outside of the show. But hey, if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. You can go and follow us on Twitter at HotGamersOnly. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/HotGamersOnly. And hey, if you don't want to look at our stupid faces, that's cool too. You can head to the link tree in the description where you can follow us on your favourite podcast service like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just search for Hot Gamers Only on there and you can find us. Thank you for not doing anything stupid this time, Hunter. I think it's because he realises that I'm watching him now for a little bit.
Oh, no. You see, I have to just not do something every once in a while now so that you
that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that now you know that I've been watching, you're gonna not do it for a couple of times until I now it's like, oh yeah, he doesn't do it anymore. And then as soon as I lose my focus, I drop my fucking act, you'll be like sitting there juggling like instantly. Or some
juggling?
I don't know how to juggle, so
dude, I do. Don't worry.
Oh, there you go. See, that'd be the place for Kyle to do something stupid next time.
Yeah. Just imagine that. Yeah, that'd be something. And yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. Remember, we've got some topic episodes coming up this next couple of weeks. Obviously, May is a pretty quiet month. So if you have any ideas, email us at hotgamesonly@gmail.com for any ideas. We've already got a couple. We'll probably work on them. But if you have anything you want to listen to us talk about, anything like that, anything that we've missed that you want us to catch up on, let us know. And we'll get on it. We've got a couple of things that we need to still do. Obviously, we have spoilercast and stuff to get ready for June at some point. But yeah, we'll get on it. But any ideas would be great because, Jesus, we've got a load of topics to do.
We got a whole month to fill, pretty much.
We've got a whole month to fill, dude. We're going to have to drag some people in or something. We're going to have to do something to keep this ship going, or else it's just going to be a load of random fucking nothing for like the 5 months. It's going to be great. As everything gets delayed and we just sit here waiting for 2023.
Yeah. It'll be the slow descent into where the Kingdom Hearts episode from a couple weeks ago is just the normal level of energy as we lose our minds.
Oh god, imagine. But anyway, that's been our show. Thank you ever so much for listening / watching this week. We'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, have an awesome week. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.